y'all, so I am back with another video today, and today we are going to be ranking romance book tropes. This is going to be a fun video. I was supposed to do this video before Valentine's Day, and it was supposed to be posted around the same time of Valentine's Day, but I had to work, and then I had to also scrap that video because my computer, well, my laptop, the fan was blowing because it was overheating or whatever, and it was so loud, like it was just too loud. So I was like, I'm just gonna have to re-record the video. About 30 book tropes, and it's just 30 that I just like picked from. So let's just go ahead and just get into my ranking title. To the library. So leap to the this job is going to be so messy and fun. Okay, so leap to the library. Leap to the library means exactly what it means. Leap to the library. Like, this book trope makes me want to leap to the library for the book. That's what leap to the library means. Like, I'm going to be leaping my ass to the library to pick up said book that has this trope. Like, this is my 5 stars. This is my trope. My trope. Next one is I'm here for her. I'm here for her means I'm here for her. Like, I'm here for her, but she's not like my top girl. You know what I mean? She's not my top girl, but I'm here for her. Like, I'm here for the girl. I'm here for the girl. Next one is assess the plot. So assess the plot means exactly what it means. Assess the plot. Like, yeah, this book trope is not my favorite, but I can kind of work with it depending on the plot, depending on the story, depending on the author, depending on the writing. Like, this assess the plot really just depends. Like, it just depends. You know what I mean? It just depends, right? And next is she's cute for you. She's cute for you means she's just cute for you. Like, this trope is not for me. I can see how other people may, it may be their trope. You know what I mean? But it's just not for me, right? And then last but not least is y'all read that. Like, y'all read that. Like, y'all read that literally means y'all read that. Like, y'all be reading that. Like, it's just like that. It has that type of energy. It's not like, oh, y'all read that. No, it's not that. It's y'all be reading that. Like, y'all read that. That's what y'all read that is. It's like, no ma'am. Okay, so those are the rankings. Now let's just go ahead and get started. Okay, I don't know why I'm laughing already. Okay, so first is going to be age gap, and here is how I view age gap, and this is how I view age gap in real life. Okay, is it a 30-year-old and a 40-year-old? Okay. A 40-year-old and a 50-year-old, cool, right? But a 28-year-old and an 18-year-old, a 20-year-old and a 30-year-old. I don't really, I'm not a big fan, because more times than not, when it comes to the age gap, it's more than likely like most age gap I've read has always been man and a woman, like the man being older and the woman being younger. And it's always, first of all, there's always a power dynamic within those type of relationships, like a really big power dynamic that people like to ignore. But like, I don't know, like, it really just depends on the story. Like, it really just depends on the story. Because I'm not going to sit out here and say, like, y'all read that. Because I've definitely read some. But, like, it's not, like, a big... And especially if it's, like, a fantastical book where there's like a 500-year-old man, and then the woman is like 25 years old. It's kind of like, okay, you've been on this planet for centuries, right? Your mind, your brain has a very different way of thinking because of the amount of things you've experienced, right? So it's kind of like, you're immortal, but like, it's just a bit weird, you know what I mean? Like, it does have a bit weird too, because I think I read in This Poison Heart, I was like, okay, it's a bit weird. It's a bit weird. Like, you were friends with this girl, great aunt, and now you're like, you know what I mean? Like, and now, girl, you have some type of intimate feelings for it. Like, it's getting a little weird. So, I think for me, it's assess the plot. You know, it just we need to look at the plot. We need to look at the story. You know what the story is about. Like, it just depends. Like, because I have read age gap romance books and have enjoyed it, but like sometimes I'd be like, okay, girl, you know. But whatever. Next is someone makes a bet. Okay. Are we talking about like somebody makes a bet like, oh, you have to talk to her, or like I bet you won't talk to her, or is it like is it a bet between the lover and the person, or is it a bet between the person and someone outside the lover? Because I'm gonna assume it's between the person and someone outside the lover, because someone making a bet with the lover, that's kind of a thing, but that wouldn't be a bet, right? I mean, I guess it depends, but I'm not a big fan of someone makes a bet, because it's always like it always become very like, ugh, that's nasty and mean. Like, it's just a little too mean for me. But I like to read cheating in books, so it's kind of like, how mean? Like, what do you mean, you sis? You know what I mean? But someone makes a bet. I think a lot of these are gonna go and assess the plot, but I'm gonna put in she's cute for you. Like, I'm not a big fan, but if I read it, it just depends on like the bet. Like, some of the bets be very degrading to like the person they're betting on, because like they are a human being. They're not for play. You know, they're not a toy. So like, or is it like some little high school shit? Like, it just depends. Like, is it like a high school someone makes a bet? Because more times than not, when it's someone makes a bet, it's like some little high school shit. You know what I mean? Like, but whatever. Okay. Next one is Insta Love. I recently just read like a Insta Love book, and I was so irritated. I really think it was because of the character per se, like, that I was irritated with, but like, I'm not a fan of Insta Love. She's gonna go and y'all read that. Like, I was gonna put and she's cute for you, because I can see how somebody would enjoy Insta Love, but like, it becomes a little too delusional for me, because like, you're out here moving and saying certain things to this person as if they are supposed to like have these reciprocate these feelings to you, and then sometimes it be teetering on this entitlement of like, you're supposed to, like, I don't know, like, I would just put her and she's cute for you, but like, it's just a turn off for me, because like, it just gives me obsession. Like, it just gives me obsessed vibes. Like, no, like, what is that? Like, no. Next is miscommunication. So I'm gonna put miscommunication in assess the plot, because sometimes miscommunication is realistic, right? Because, you know, as human beings, we do miscommunicate our feelings, or not communicate at all our feelings and things of that nature, that can prevent certain arguments and certain situations, right? But like, some of the miscommunications, I'd be like, oh my god, this was so unnecessary. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes it be a little so unnecessary, a little too unnecessary, but then it's like, it's realistic. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like, this is what happens. Like, we do miscommunicate, like, a lot. It happens a lot. So it's kind of like, it is realistic within, especially within romance books, within relationships and partnerships. But sometimes I be frustrated. Like, sometimes miscommunicate, like, especially as the audience, like, you know what the issue is, and it's like, just tell them. And sometimes it be so small. It be so small. Like, it don't even be like a big issue. Sometimes, more times than not, it be so small. And it be like, oh my god, like, you are stringing us along for the BS. But then it's like, it's realistic. So I'm gonna put it in assess the plot, because she's not like a big, you know, like, she's not a big deal to me, but it's like, okay, girl, it just depends. Next is banter. She's gonna go and leap to library. I love me a good banter between two partners, two little lovers, two little, crushes, whatever. I love me a good banter. First of all, I am a person who likes to talk trash, clearly. So like, why wouldn't I like a little back and forth? Like, why wouldn't I like a little back and forth between like crushes? Like, come on, be serious. Like, I'm leaving to the library for some banter, okay? Next is first love. I'm not a big fan of first love because sometimes it teeters on this purity. Like, it teeters on like purity culture, and like I hate that, especially because first love, like most of the first love I've read was about women, and it kind of teeters on this like religious purity culture thing. Now sometimes it does work because Confessions of an Alleged Good Girl, that was that first love? Well, yeah, it was kind of first love, but sometimes it teeters on this like purity culture thing, and it's like sometimes you'll have the guy and he's written as this misogynist, and he's like, oh, she's never been with anyone and I have to conquer her. Like it kind of teeters on that depending on the plot. So I'm just gonna put it in assess the plot. Like, I don't really have like a big issue with first love, but sometimes it teeters on that, and it just irritates me, and I'm just like, okay, it's getting a bit nasty. Okay, so next is workplace romance. I like workplace romance. I'm not gonna put it in leap to the library because sometimes this is really going off of experience. Like, sometimes workplace romance can become like a power issue depending on like if it's a boss and a employee, or it's just, two employees, but I think it just depends on the plot. But I do fairly enjoy workplace romance because it's realistic as well, because it's like more times than not you're gonna meet your lover where you're at all the time. We work to live, so like, yeah. But I'm just gonna put it in I'm here for her. She's not like my top girl, but I'm here for her. I'm here for a good workplace romance. Unrequited love. I don't know. I'm not a big fan of one-sided love, or like love that is like not reciprocated back. Like, I'm not a fan of that. Like, no, like I like my characters to be in love. Like like I understand the precarities of like not everybody's gonna love you back, you know what I mean? But like, I want my characters to be in love. I want my characters to be in love. Like, even if it takes like denial, like I can deal with denial. That's gonna go in I'm here for her, maybe in leap to the library, because like, what are you being in denial for? You like him, you know what I mean? You like him, but like, as far as like, I love you, but I love you, but you don't love me back, that's kind of hurtful. Like, no, I don't want to be reading my romance hurt. Like, no. She's gonna go and she's cute for you. She's cute for y'all, but like, I'm not a big fan. I'm not a big fan. Like, even if it leads to like a slow burn to where it's like they'll eventually fall in love with each other, like, like, but I don't know. Okay. Next is Rivals. Rivals is gonna go and leap to library. I love me a good Rivals. Like, I'm so sorry. I love me an academic Rivals. First of all, academic Rivals is probably going to be in like my top 5. I love me a good academic Rivals, or just Rivals in general. Like, I love me a good rival. Like, I hate you, but I love you. Like, I hate you, but I slick like you on the low. Like, it always just gives in the book for me. Like, it just gives in the book for me, because it's like, girl, you know you like him. Like, you like her. You like them. Like, please stop trying to play in our face. Like, Stop trying to play in my face. Like, I love me a good rival. I love me a good rival. So, next is billionaire. I'm gonna put in I'm here for her. I still want to put her in assess the plot because sometimes billionaire tropes can be a little teetering on abusive in some sort of way. But for the most part, the billionaire trope is literally just a fantasy, right? Everybody wants to get us a man that pay for everything, and he's this rich ass, he's this rich ass man, whatever. Like, that's it. Like, I don't think I've read that many billionaire tropes anyway. So I'm gonna put her in assess the plot. Let me move her. I'll put in assess the plot. So it wouldn't be fair to put her in I'm here for her. Next is opposites attract. She's going to leap to the library. I love me a good opposites. Like, I'm sorry. I love me a good opposites attract. Like, I love me a good opposites attract. Like, or do I want to put her in I'm here for her? Like, I like opposites attract, but then sometimes I'm like, do I like it? No, I'm gonna leave it. I enjoyed opposites attract because it's kind of like they get to learn from each other in different ways. I'm gonna keep her a leap to the library. Childhood friends to lovers. I'm gonna put in I'm here for her. I'm gonna put in I'm here for her. I don't really have a big gripe with childhood friends to lovers. Sometimes it teeters on a little bit unrealistic, but most of the childhood friends to lovers I read has been like we were childhood friends and like I moved away and like we reconnected. Like, I kind of do enjoy that. So I'm gonna put in I'm here for her. Next is gonna be soulmates. I don't know. Soulmates is gonna have to go and assess the plot. It's gonna have to go and assess the plot. Yeah, it's gonna have to go and assess the plot because I don't think I've read too many. But I really do think it depends on the plot because, like, I don't believe in having one soulmate anyway. But it just depends. Because I've read some fantastical books that have had, like, soulmate tropes, but then it was kind of like, oh, they have a soul mark. And I'm like, I don't know how I feel about it. But, yeah, I'm going to put in assess the plot. Next is going to be teacher-student. I'm going to put in she's cute for you. I'm not really, like, it's really just, fantasy. Like, I don't know. It's like, because, like, there's, like, a power dynamic when it comes to, like, teacher-student stuff. So it's kind of like, she's gonna be cute for you. Grumpy Sunshine. It depends because more times than not, it's always Grumpy Man and Sunshine Girl. But if it's Grumpy Girl and Sunshine Man, then I'm gonna put an I'm here for it. Wait, what happened to it? I'm gonna put an I'm here for it. I'm gonna put I'm here for it because, like, Grumpy Girl and Sunshine Man, that trope is not seen all the time. So when I do, like, read somebody have that type of dynamic with someone, like, to me it's kind of fun in a way because we always get the grumpy guy and, like, the Sunshine Girl. It's like that trope gets a little tired. Like, let's switch it up a little bit. Let's get us, a cinnamon roll boy and this, like, goth girl. You know what I mean? Like, this grumpy girl. It's cute. Next is secret relationship. I'm gonna put it I'm here for it. Cause wouldn't like, yeah, I'm gonna put it I'm here for it. Yeah, I'm gonna put it I'm here for it. Like, I'm gonna put it I'm here for it. Cause it's something about, like, sneaking around that's just kind of like, it's not anxiety inducing, but it's like, how is this gonna play out? Kind of like an anticipation on how it's gonna play out between them with their secret relationship. Next is one of them is famous. That's gonna go and assess the plot. Like, I don't really have an issue with one person being famous, but, like, sometimes it's kind of like, sometimes it's kind of like, we don't really care about you being famous. You know what I mean? Like, it just depends on the plot. Like, what purpose does it serve with the plot. You know what I mean? Next is gonna be cheating. I'm here for cheating. I'm not gonna say leap to library for cheating because I'm not a big leap to library girl when it comes to cheating. But like if it's in the book, more than likely I'm gonna be enjoying it because it's messy. Like the point of me reading this book to be in mess, but like sometimes it does get a little overboard. You know what I mean? Like sometimes it's a little too much mess, but sometimes I can handle a little bit of mess in my books. Sometimes I'm like, okay, I just want a little something a little subtle, you know. But it just depends on my mood. Next is friends with benefits. I'm gonna say leap to library for friends with benefits. I would put I'm here for her, but I feel like I read too much friends with benefits. I've read too much friends with benefits books, like book tropes, to be like no, because it's one of my faves. It is definitely one of my faves. I'm pretty sure y'all are now like figuring out what taste in books. I'm embarrassed. Okay, next is secret identity. I'm gonna put I'm here for her. I want to put I am here for her because I've read like if it's like a what did I read? It was this girl like she like was working for like she was working for like the government and she had to hide her identity from the guy. That was kind of cool. Like she was like a spy. That was kind of cool to me. Like if it's like that, but if it's like a secret identity where they're like hiding everything about themselves from that person, like name, like, but like with malicious intent is what I'm trying to say. Like, is it secret identity with malicious intent, or is it secret identity where it's like, you know, I'm a spy, secret assassin, you know, some shit like that? That I'll put I'm here for her, but I'm gonna put it in assess the plot because it really just depends on the plot for me. Next is gonna be friends to lovers. I'm gonna put in leap to library. I like friends to lovers. I feel like it's cute. It's cool and it's realistic. It's like, yeah, we're friends, but you know, like, can I have a crush on you? Like, it's cute. It's cute to me. Next is unhappy ending. I'm gonna put unhappy ending and assess the plot because like sometimes with the unhappy endings, I'm like, was this really necessary? Like, I do understand in romance books that there's not always going to be a happy ending, right? There's not. It's not, you know, it's not realistic to think that way. Like, sometimes it's also not needed, right? Like, sometimes the message within the book includes the unhappy ending within the plot, right? But some unhappy endings that be written, I'd be like, okay, girl, did we really need this? Like, did you really need to stress me out this entire book to give me this as well? You know what I mean? Like, only certain people understand the stress when you read certain stuff that's already stressful, then give me an unhappy ending on top of that. Like, girl, you know what I mean? Sometimes it's just all too much. Next is going to be second chance love. She's cute for you. She's cute for you because what you need a second chance for? Let's write me in a new character. Write me in a new character. Like, what we need a second chance for? I mean, let me just be for real. Okay, so it just I guess it depends because like certain characters in certain books have gotten second chances. Like, they'll do something in the beginning of the book and then they get a second chance at the end of the book, and I'm like, okay, cool. But like, if it's like somebody, like, I don't know, let me put her in assess the plot because I was gonna put she's cute for you, but like sometimes some of these characters don't be deserving no damn second chance. But I'll put in assess the plot because it wouldn't be fair. Anyway, enemies to lovers. She's gonna go and leap to library. She's gonna go and leap to library. Period. I love me. First of all, enemies to lovers is gonna be like my top 3. Academic rivals, and enemies to lovers is probably like either my top 3 or top 5 when it comes to romance book tropes. I love me a good enemies to lovers. Now, here's the thing. There's a fine line between enemies and like I don't like yous between like vitriol, right? Because I do not want my like characters to be calling each other racial slurs and then be like, oh, let's be in love. That's a chop. That's a chop for me. Like, no ma'am. I do do not want no character to be literally spitting hate and vitriol at a character and then try and develop romance after that. It's a chop for me. That's not the type of enemies to lovers I'm talking about. I'm talking about like we don't fuck with each other for different reasons, but you know, we low-key like each other. We low-key did like each other before we fell out. You know, stuff like that. You know, stuff like that. Not no hate and verbal abuse and all that stuff, and then you want to be like, you love me after. Chop, okay? I ain't talking about that. No, that is not going to work for me. Okay? Next is going to be slow burn. I'm going to put her on I'm here for her. I love me a good anticipation. You know what I mean? Sometimes I can be a little bit impatient, but I do love me an anticipation because it builds up the plot and the story. Like it builds up those feelings, and it also builds up my investment within the story as well, especially if it's written very well. Next is going to be fake dating. I don't know how I feel about fake dating. Like, I like fake dating. It's not like a big issue for me. It just, like, here's the thing. Here's the thing with fake dating. You're going to have to make me invested, right? Y'all are fake dating to the audience and to the outside world, right? So you're going to have to do things to make us invested. You're going to have to do things to make the audience invested, and you're going to have to do things to make the outside world invested, right? And sometimes it misses the mark with that. Like, some people be missing the mark with that because it's like, fake dating, you have to make us invested in fake dating. Like, otherwise we're not going to be invested in it because we know y'all are fake dating, right? It's going to have to be some feelings, some interactions, stuff like that is going to have to be built, right? And you're also going to have to be showing the world that y'all are dating as well. That's kind of like the thing with fake dating. Like, sometimes some people be missing the mark with it because it's kind of like, you're going to have to make us invested in it because otherwise we're not, because we know y'all are fake dating for whatever reason, right? So I'm not going to put her as she's cute for you because sometimes it can work for me. So I'm going to put her in assess the plot. Next is going to be arranged marriage. I don't know, because sometimes it be teetering on abuse for me. Like, arranged marriage, sometimes it teeters on abuse, and I'm not for, like, trying to force a woman to marry a man she doesn't want to marry. But sometimes, like, if it's, like, agreed between woman and man, like, between them, and it's not, like, a family thing, more times than not, most of the arranged marriages I've read, it has been a family thing between businesses, money, you know, stuff like that. You know, that old-timey shit. So I would put in she's cute for you, but I think she can work depending on the plot. She can work depending on the plot for me. Next is forced proximity. I'm going to put leap to the library. I love me a good forced proximity. So, like, forced proximity is like, you know, let's say there are two lovers in a cabin and then, like, it's snowing outside. And, like, now it's a snowstorm and, like, they can't leave from that cabin. That's kind of like forced proximity, or like two lovers stuck, or two enemies to lovers stuck on an elevator. Like, that is like forced proximity for me, and it's kind of like they gotta stay in a small confined space with each other. Like, that builds up, you know, the chemistry, that builds up the tension between the two lovers. So it's kind of like, I'm here for forced proximity. Like, it just does it for me. Next is love triangle. I'm not a fan. Like, maybe, of course, this list will change over time. Like, my opinions about romance tropes would change over time, you know, but I'm not a fan. She's gonna go and she's cute for you. I would put in y'all read that, but, like, I don't know, like, love triangles it just hits on it gets a little annoying for me. Like, it just gets a little too annoying for me. So, like, I would put in y'all read that, but I think I've read some that I've like enjoyed, but like more times than not, it always ends up with like one person leading another person on, and it's like just so you could go right back to that ancient ass person that you like, you know what I mean? Like, anyway, last but not least is going to be Forbidden Love. That's kind of like that Romeo and Juliet type shit, right? I'm gonna put in a excessive lot. It just depends. Like, it just depends. Sometimes it's like y'all know y'all not supposed to be around each other, but y'all are. I don't know. It just depends. Like, I have to be invested in the story. Like, it just depends for me. I'm not a big Forbidden Love person, but I've enjoyed some Forbidden Love stories. So it just depends. But yeah, that's all I have for today's video. This is my list. Go ahead and look at it. This was fun. This was fun and cute. If you have any romance tropes that you want to talk about in the comments down below, go ahead and put it down below. Put down your favorite romance book tropes. Put down ones that you dislike and all that jazz. And yeah, I will see you guys. Oh, and I may do a part 2. If y'all want a part 2, let me know if y'all want a part 2, and I'll do like 30 more romance book tropes, and trying to do another video. So just let me know in the comments down below. And yeah, I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.
Hi. No, thank you. No, thank you. No, thank you. Sorry.